Space, the final frontier. This is the 2.5-year journey of the build of the Starship Enterprise. Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and this is issue stage 66 of building the Enterprise. I've done this bit already because you've seen me do these before. It's exactly the same as the last one. This is obviously the one that's going to go on the other side, but we can't fit that yet until we've done the other one, which we haven't got yet, so I'll put that aside for later. The covers I'm not going to be putting on yet, purely because I like to make sure everything works before I put on a cover that's going to make it difficult to get back into it and do things with if I need to. But I do need the 2 springs out of there, because once again we're fitting a thing that's sprung and like a switch but isn't a switch. We're going to fit this, which is the what does it say? It's a phaser array or something, isn't it? It's the lateral phaser array, and the 2 springs fit over the top of that, a bit like that but better. So the springs go over there and let you push it, but you can't push it because you don't need to do anything with it. I don't know why. From last time we have this, which is obviously the other side, but before we put those 2 pieces together, we've got to put it into the middle of this bit, which is that way round. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say we've put these little plastic blocks in there, but we're not using those. But it's got sort of metallic versions of them over there already. So this is fitting onto there. Just like that. Are those springs touching against there? Those seem to line up on that. They don't line up on that. Let's... I've got that the wrong way round. It's got to be that way round, hasn't it? Because it's that shape. So they don't line up with the brackets on there. They go further through into the holes like that. So yes, the springs will come through these holes here. Or if the springs don't, then something will. Yeah, it looks like the springs will. Whether they should, I don't know. But yeah, so they're going to just put up against the inside of that. So we've got that there, we've got that goes over the other side. Like so. Looks like that will fit around and fill. So we've got 2 screws to put in there, BP screws. I should have opened first. I'll do that now. Put that there. Will it fall apart? It might a little bit. Hopefully it won't though. So we need 2 of these BP screws. And then another 2 of the BP screws as well. So let's get 4 of those out now. Yeah, 2 from either side. So these 2 will go through there. I'm not tightening these down as yet until I've got everything lined up. These 2 will go through the outside there. There, and next to that. There. Now the bottom part of this is obviously not held in place with anything as yet, so I'm not too concerned that there's a gap and lots of wobble there, because that will happen. But that, yeah, again, it could work as a button. Why is it sprung? I don't know. Nobody knows. Get these tightened down. That should go together better, I think. Yeah, that will. It just needs a little bit of manipulation and tightening. So far so good. That's that. It's coming together. That is the end of the build because I've already done the next bit. So that's that, apart from putting the covers in, which I'm not going to be doing quite yet. But what I am going to do is bring in some other parts and see if I can get a better overview of how it's going to go together. So I'll clear the bench away, get rid of some of these bits, and bring in some other parts. Right, now the saucer section, obviously we all know, we're aware of just how big that is. It's basically the size of this already. So this is basically the other half of the ship. So yeah, the nacelles seem big. I don't know, they just seem very large to me, but there we go. Now, as I decided before, that's going to fit basically like that. And I was thinking that the neck's going to fit somewhere in front of that, and it'll be that sort of size. But looking at it again, it doesn't. The connecting points on here join up exactly with those. So that is actually going to fit on there like that. The neck fits further back than I assumed. So that's going to fit on there like that. And then that's going to go on there. And then, if I can put that to one side a bit, the nacelle, as I correctly thought, there's the little pins on there that line up with the little pins on somewhere else there, on there, the little divots on the outside of there. And that basically will just snap in place. I'm not going to push it all the way home, but it's going to go on there a bit like that. So with that and that, this whole non-saucer section, the battle bridge and everything else, is much more compact than I assumed it was going to be. I just never really thought about it. You never really see it without the saucer section. But yeah, that's going to be much tighter than I assumed it was going to be. It's still going to be nice, don't get me wrong, but it's not quite as I imagined it. The nacelles feel like they're on the wrong way around. I don't know, it feels like that should be sticking out the back, and it should add more. I think I'm drifting back to thinking about other ships, but that's going to go on there like that, and that's going to be it. So the size of this is smaller than the saucer section, but here we have it. So yeah, I like how it's coming together. I mean, it's obviously not come together yet. We've got to put the panels on this obviously before that. Then just bayonets in place. It feels like these just lock under, but there's not much for that to lock under. It goes into the little indentation there. So is that going to be enough? Irrespective of how the saucer section fits to this, is that all that holds that in place on there? Will you then be able to just push this forward and take off that whole top section with the saucer included? I don't know. It doesn't feel secure. I don't know. I'm assuming there's going to be some other locking mechanism or something, although I don't know how you're going to get to it. So yeah, that doesn't feel like there's much actually locking that in place. But there we go. My paint has chipped off on the edges here, so that will need some attention. Again, I'm not going to bother redoing it now because it's going to be moved around and installed and things, so I'm not worrying about that at the moment. But that just hopefully will give you an idea as to the size of this, which is much more compact than I thought it was going to be. The saucer section is the thing. That's what the Enterprise is, basically. It's just the saucer with a bit fitted onto the side of it. So yeah, there we go. I hope you've enjoyed it. At some point I'll see about lining up the saucer with it and see if I can get an overview of all of it, but it's going to be quite impressive. So thank you very much for joining me on this journey. I shall see you on the next episode, whenever that may be, whenever I get the next pack, basically. So thank you for watching, stay safe, and I shall see you very soon. Bye bye for now.